too much about it. That's as far back as we can go, because then we hit the hedge. So let's do this thing. This will not take long at all because it's such a wide working width, which is probably a good thing. I'm not sure how good it's going to be around the yard, those two grass areas that I kind of think I want to do with the mowing and the stuff. But I could leave the mowing on those fields until September. I can get this field done, loaded in a silo and fermenting, so that during September we can sell that silage and make a bit of money. I could then do the two smaller patches of grass in our yard in September, get them loaded into the second silo, and then that's income for October. October, potentially, we may have the maize field ready to forage, in which case get a forage harvester and load that into the silo we emptied from this cut, and then finally figure out the last cut on this field when we've sold the grass from the others. That's a potential plan. I have no idea if that's going to work or not, but we'll give it a go and see where we get to. Now, this is... I've never used a windrower in this type of field that's this big. So I don't know if I'm gonna have an issue with working with how many headlands we got. Set cardinal. Let's go. So we'll get all this rolled up. And as I said, I'm really not looking for a baler for this job. I might lease a baler if we do a contract. I might borrow the equipment for the contract and supplement that equipment with the Valtra when needed. Now, that did not come through as conditioned grass. I think if I'm careful on a pickup wagon, I can convert that grass to conditioned by loading the loading wagon with more conditioned grass. Yes, we'll see. But for right now, this is the end of the row as we know it. Feel fine. There we go, and probably about as far as I can go. Lift. Thanking you. It looks like the actual working width of this equipment is not as the GPS thinks it is. We will find out very shortly as we line up here. Okay, forwards, engage GPS, and in theory, if I push the down button, it should just lower the no, that was... Yes. It gives me a very small window to move forward and not destroy the the windrow headland. I think the other option would be to row the middle and then go round the edge as a last resort. But anyway, next thing I have to consider is a loading wagon. And I think we want about 30,000 litres. That small one is nice and cheap, but I don't think I'd use it for long. Which means taking out a loan, which might mean we'll look at contracts later if we've got time. I think right now, obviously, getting our fields done is the most important thing. Not crashing into the hedges is also advisable. This isn't actually turning out too badly. I could probably have used a second headland. For the most part, okay. GPS on, forward engaged, lower the windmills, and off we go. Yeah, see, I've been following GPS track, absolutely, and this is not working. There is a problem with the working width. So width increment, I want to drop this to about 45. So in theory, what's that do? Don't know. What's that do? Don't know. Auto width. Oh, that's taking it down by 0.03. 0.3. 1, 2, 3. 45.21 feet. So that'll increase the overlap between the outside vanes of the windrower and should not leave us with any bits of missed grass, mostly. And I can always do the thing with the loading wagon. I do want to have a look at loading wagons. Loading wagons, where are you? I don't know. Forage wagons, that thing there. 123. That's 86 and 47. That's 40. Actually, that one on the end is quite cheap. This is 135. Oh. And this is me getting to the end of the row. I do have the width to do this. But I think, really? It works, I guess. I probably want to do headlands, a second headland at each end just to tidy up those bits. Oh well. So, what real world stuff is happening today? Mrs. Osa's still asleep. We have all the kids in the house today. Mrs. Osa needs to go and clean the church. Oh, it's 9:30, so okay. There is a Ninja Warrior event for under 12s, but our two have decided they're not particularly interested in that but they will all be heading out to clean the church when Mrs. Osa's ready to go. And I am going to need to cut the grass because that looks particularly big today. I think I'd also like to get down to the basement and do a little bit of tidying up. How are we actually doing here? There's probably 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more rows to do. So I think we've done quite well. I didn't turn far enough. Don't think that's going to be too much of a problem though. So we'll keep this churning, and must admit, having a windrower this big is good. We'll probably keep this field as grass going forwards. I may need more grass fields, but we know there's one on the other side of those trees and a couple around the south side of the yard. So that may be sufficient to keep cows fed when we get some. But the shed's going to cost 700,000. Thereabouts, I think. So it's not like cows are going to happen anytime soon without us earning a lot of money in the meantime. So push that button, do that, and what I did last time I was down here was I went past it and then came back on myself, which puts the pivot point of the rower right where it needs to be, and go, 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 yes. So we end up with a slightly cleaner point at the end there. As I said, that is going to need a headland road, I think, just to tidy up the ends. And now we know. Well, the problem is the distance between the row and the headland row and these rows. So what I might end up doing is rowing the middle in future and then doing the ends at the end. And with something this big, the corners are always going to be a problem, I think. Now we do have courseplay, so that is going to be something we can look to later. When we have more than one tractor. Okay. And again, that was a mess. So we've got GPS running, so we should be, oh actually, I made the rows narrower, so we might not hit all of that last row here. Yeah, that's troublesome, maybe. But we do know we need to run this at 25 feet, give or take. which is a little bit annoying because I can't use auto width because of the way it's set up. Actually, so if I do that, change direction, follow initiate, follow. There does not seem to be any way to adjust the working width of the windrow. Some windrowers do have an adjust width, so you can extend things outwards. This one does not appear to have that. So, at least I don't think it does. If I... Oh. So, no, there is no adjustable working width on this windrower. Anyway, let us get this thing lined up here. And then what I'm planning to do is we'll get this bit started. Raise it up. And I'll drive along the bottom. There we go. Something that's going to be a little bit easier in a loading wagon to pick up. And that is good. Try and drive through the gaps. It's less uncomfortable on the suspension. And we can come back to here, turn on cruise control, on GPS I'm in exactly the right place. So we can finish this row off. So yeah, that bit there, gonna have to come back and do that anyway. But it's very narrow, so I don't really have to worry too much about the whole, is it in line or not. Same there, it would be nice if we could push that onto a row, but not going to happen this time. Next time, not too much of a bother, because we'll know that we need to mess with the working width on this when running GPS. No, actually, I'm going to forget for at least the first 10 times that the actual working width of this and the GPS working width on this are at odds with each other, and we'll just have to keep messing around with it for a while. And, can I make that turn? No. Yes. No. Oh. Total mess. And I'm stuck on something. I think the windrower is now actually stuck on the hedge. Good job. And now it's not. Okay, need to watch the hedges on this map. Wasn't so much of an issue on Maypole. This map, I think for the most part, the hedges are not going to get in the way of workers, because they're going to see them as a collision and will work around that. It may be a problem for courseplay workers. I'm not sure about that at this point, because I haven't tried courseplay on this map. And it may obviously be a problem for us more so than oh, no. Disaster. And yeah, that's the problem with these, is you can end up hitting rows you've already done when you're going against the grain. Anyway, GPS off. We can pull this back to... Actually, there's a lot of conditioned grass here, not so much fresh grass. So as I said, we might have a... we might not have too much of an issue. Park this next to the workshop. We will add more sheds as we earn money, kind of, sort of. Although a lot of farmers I know seem to leave their they'll put their balers in a shed, but they won't stick their mowers and windrowers or tedders in a shed. They're okay outside. Okay, we need to get back to the store, get ourselves a loading wagon, and then figure out, well, see how much of that field we can get in one thing. One bunker. So I did buy 2 bunkers. I think they're about 60,000 each. So they're not cheap. Might be 70. I don't know. I don't remember. There are some bunkers with Maize Plus, but they only take 90,000 litres of chaff, which I know for a fact we have way more than that in that field. We're probably looking about 300,000 litres, which is fine. But it is the height of summer. It's 10:24 in the morning and it's 20 degrees. It's going to be cloudy later today. What else can we tell? Not a lot. And the tractor now has 1 hour on it. So of course, the bigger the loading wagon I get, the quicker we can get things done and put less hours on the tractor again. But for obvious reasons, I want to get that load of grass in our silage bunker compacted and covered as soon as possible. When we shift to 4-day months in September, I am not sure. I am guessing it'll be first day, whatever time we get done. So if we get it done by 1 o'clock, then I'm guessing first day of September, 1 o'clock would be when it's ready to be sold. However, it could be midnight on day 2, because it's halfway through the month. I don't know how. I've never really done the analysis on what Giants uses for crossing months when the months are different lengths. Obviously, all their math is based on 1 month, 1 day months, because that's what they programmed it for, and then they patched in a different set of days, so you could pick more days per month, and that changed all of their math. But they do rest on midnight of the first day to calculate food required for animals and all of the rest of it. Okay, we need to buy a thing. We need to buy one of those things. That is 26,000 litres. That is 47,000 litres and about the same price. So why wouldn't we use the Jumbo 8450, which is from the hay and forage pack? That's cool. I don't want that, but it's cool nonetheless. And then this one is 46 at 123, 47, 86, that's 250 horsepower. That's a little bit big for our tractor. That is also a little bit big for our tractor. Ooh. Oh. So at times like this, you wish you'd paid for the engine upgrade. Oh. 230 horsepower. Feels fairly flat. Oh, we risk it. Yes. Or we have to go for something like that. That's 26, that's 35, that's 220, 44. But it is quite expensive. Do I chance it? I think I chance it. I think I chance it. Okay. We're going to need to borrow some money, so let's go to the bank. Call up the bank manager and say, I want a loan for... Oh, we can afford a big loan. For 100,000 for... 4 years, monthly repayment is 2,200. 3 years, 2,900. I'll go 3 years. Okay. So, forage wagon. Oh. So I'm going to get the big one at the end and hope it works. Pick up, yes. Oh, that makes it more expensive. Billboard, yes. Cover, no. Silage adjectives. You know what? Much as we say everything, I think we go for that one. So 100,000, silage additive is 2,000 more, but then I have to buy silage additive, which is another 2,500. Think we'll configure it without right now and just use it as is. I'm going to buy it because it's our thing. We are going to need it all the time.